Welcome back. Okay, I hope everyone's had a chance to have a nice drink, and there'll be time afterwards, hopefully if we finish around 10, to take advantage of the bar, because it is open till 11 o'clock. And another funny little thing has happened. I told you there were two visiting poets from Kent here tonight. I'm one of them now, and Emil Serkin from Ramsgate. And the young guy has introduced himself to me, he sent me an email, and he's going to just give you a couple of poems now. He's from Deal, so what about that?
Taking over the world.
So, and he's also performed at the Astor, where we have as well in Deal. So anybody knows that little arts venue? Thumbs up. So here, would you please give a nice Dodo Modern Poets welcome to Mr. James Easton.
Hey.
Hello everyone.
Hello.
If you're wondering what I'm doing with my arm, last weekend I thought I was a stuntman on a pair of rollerblades.
Oh.
Turns out I'm not. Right, this first piece I'm going to be doing tonight, it's called The Spirit of Success. It was a poem I wrote while I was in Australia about a lovely girl that I met, bit of a cliche. But yeah, the spirit of success. How she moved, stole the wind from a breeze, replacing impurities within its reach, compelling me to speak with a need for which my head cannot keep. A divine radiation is the best explanation in relation to the partaking of sharing meditation. An encounter all too brief that reinstated belief. Moving on's easy when there's another you need. Not with a want to keep, but a deep want to share. The feeling of care and emotional affair so strong and pure it can't be compared to anything out there in the realm of existence. Her spirit shining strong with the beauty of prisms, singing sweet symphony softly. She scratches my head as I listen, leaving me feeling indifferent to the world we live in. Provoking emotions that were small but now are growing. Never wrote a poem, but for her I'm composing a series of words that I'm putting in verse for the first time. It works. How could it not? There's a strength in truth, whether you like it or not. I'm glad there's a few more people from Kent in here as well. They're taking over. This second piece I'm doing is called Receive with Thought. It's something that I think a lot about. Hopefully you all do as well. What they feed us in the media is the same as what they feed us in McDonald's. A load of shit. Taking the piss with what they depict as the news of the world, and still they persist. And it makes no sense because the weather's blitz. Still we're blinded by the sun in the place that we live. I represent the working man, working hard to give his kids half a chance. You can tell he grafts daily without failing, it's ingrained in his heart. Creating a path for them, remaining their guardian. Through the times of despair, through an inner flare manifesting itself as care to which no words compare. That kind of beauty moves me. I find it truly soothing. Refusing to lose in a direction of losing faith, I resume with looking at myself and pursuing with the question, what am I doing? It's difficult now to find the answer. So much imposed and thrown on us, leaving chinks in our armour. Find ourselves on paths we didn't opt to go down, part of our own show now, seats of hopes and dreams thrown out. That's how it goes now. Ignoring others' success and replacing their names with bitterly used pronouns. What's the lowdown? My theory, what they put on our plate we digest too easy. Blindly eating meals of ill reason, ingredients weakened. No matter the change in weather, it's contamination season. It's down to us to choose what we absorb and what we avoid. We're our own fortress, protected by letting the feeling of self-preservation deploy.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers, James.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, well, great, that was great. Thank you. See you soon. Okay, right. Just more applause for James, please. He's on his way back to Deal to
Train
repopulate
back to
Kent.
Cheers, thanks for having me. I'll put you an email.
Okay, James, take care. It's all fizzing a bit tonight, isn't it? It's great. I'm going to read a few poems then to continue from my an older collection, mine called Baltimore. And I don't know if this one's so appropriate now because the theme of this poem is it's about how we live in cities and we're isolated, we live fractured existences and don't know who our neighbours are. But anyway, here's Baltimore. In the lonely city, I reach out to you, twin souls buried in darkness and light. We are the poor offspring of our dreams, watching snow drift across Baltimore's skies. In the lonely city, our fingers touch, an electric connection distributing power to all circuits. In your eyes, I see a door opening, reflecting a second door leading to a corridor of hope. In the lonely city, you reach out to me. It's such a simple thing. One human being moving toward another. The Baltimore traffic backs up for the weekend. Friday's snow forms a cushion between our lips. Our warm breath gives winter notice. We are reaching out across this city, circling like ships. I'm going to do a poem which is, I think we used to call these love poems, and this is still a love poem as far as I'm concerned. It's your heart is of polished glass. Your heart is of polished glass. I can see through it to a green and lilac garden where silver fish swim in a lake on the first day of the first summer. And I can sense the beat of your heart in the sighing of pines and the wintry crisp of footsteps going hunting in a faraway land. Your heart is of polished glass. I hold it in my hand as though it were loose change waiting for newspapers on a Sunday morning. I can taste it on the melting butter or fresh bread, breathe it through gossamer frost in the October park. Your heart is of polished glass. When you are sleeping, it is still as the first minutes of Christmas. It echoes in the wild bowl of the first world. Its song is of blue mountains and indigo birds and motor cars that never reach their destination. Here's a poem which mixes tragedy with a kind of black comedy and death, and it's called Eaten by Lions. A young man called David Pladle Bouverie was working as a photographic guide in Zimbabwe, and unfortunately while there he was eaten by a lion. That was a terrible thing to happen to anyone, but on the other hand I thought in years to come when his ancestors look at his tombstone, eaten by lions is a lot more interesting than the usual message you get. People have died of natural causes. So this is Eaten by Lions. Will they put Eaten by Lions on his headstone? It's certainly more interesting than passed away peacefully resting. Eaten by Lions tells us death was unexpected, foreign and gruesome, delivered by a twosome from the hide, who fancied a teenager's hide, dragged from his tent, several large gulps, no ill will meant, eaten by lions at 19, a romantic and tragical end, explained on a postcard easily, big cats have gobbled my friend. I think Amy would admit to being Irish, and I also.
I deny it, so deny
Okay, so I'm possibly the only Irish person in the room then. And, this is a poem about one of the Aran Islands called Inishmore, and if you know the Aran Islands off off the coast of Clare and Galway, you'll know how beautiful they are. And Inishmore is a little jewel set in the Atlantic, and when I went there was a golden light flooding the island, so you can imagine how much artists love it. And Inishmore has got an interesting history in that Cromwell billeted troops there during the hostilities, and after they were finished, some of the troops married into the island, and the physiognomy of the island is said to be affected as a result. So this is Inishmore. Summer returns to the west, light refracted through crystal, paddling in the surf on the western edge of Europe, our bony feet pale as salmon, bewitched by ghosts. Summer returns to the west, our lives weary of death return to us, cycling till we run out of road, stopping for Guinness, bewitched by thirst. Inishmore, Inishmore, Inishmore. I repeat this mantra, asleep on the beach, running grey volcanic sand through bony fingers, skeletons of Cromwell's soldiers, almost within reach. History's crowded solitude, humming in this untrafficked place. Inishmore, Inishmore, Inishmore. Staying in Ireland, moving to Cork City. There's a restaurant in Cork City called Cafe Paradiso, which is the vegetarian holy grail, and this is a poem about how that is a place to really be with friends and find out who they are. Cork City gulps April sunshine, the air that refreshes after winter. We gulp red wine in Cafe Paradiso, learning new words for love. Your beauty is a thing of wonder. I never knew your loveliness before. You open your heart to me, I walk through its lonely door. A parentless child in Belfast, a child at war in a city at war, longing for love and star-filled nights in a city landscape, spelling no. You tell me of your lovely daughter, Rachel, how you chose her name. You tell me of your husband, your cottage, the things that keep you sane. We have one more glass, then one glass more, and another glass to be really sure. When we leave Cafe Paradiso, the world will care a little more. I'm going to finish with this poem, which has become a bit inappropriate. It's called Waiting for Henry. Henry's that unreliable friend who never turns up for a meeting or an arrangement. And usually I say there's probably quite a few Henrys in this room tonight, except that you haven't bothered to come, but in fact the room is quite full. So Waiting for Henry. The rumours begin. Henry's back in town. Days pass. Henry rings. Says he might be at such and such a place, at such and such a time, on such and such a day. We go there anyway, stand around with drinks. Someone spots Henry, but it's not Henry, just someone who looks like Henry. Henry rings to apologise. He got caught up. There was a girl. A train was late. We forgive Henry. He is only as weak as the strongest among us. Henry threatens to come to a party. From an upstairs window we watch Henry's taxi arrive. He gets out, pays, remembers something, gets back in. We tried to calculate how many years since we spoke to the physical Henry, pressed his physical flesh, stood him a drink. Once we saw him in the queue, Bob Dylan. There was a girl, there was a limousine. Henry melted away. We hear Henry's in Australia, or India, or Amsterdam. A card arrives without a stamp. It shows a white building, a red guard. Henry says he is getting his shit together. There was a girl, a plane was late. You know how it is, but we don't. We don't know how it is. This is why we love Henry, wherever he is. Thank you very much indeed, and fun and strange evening having fitting in fact. So welcome back, please, Francis White.
Can I remember the way? Maybe if I just do that. Stay there, won't it?